All right, so here we go. I'm going to give this a couple of minutes so we can get some people watching so that they can disagree with me and try to level this out. Not going to work, not going to work. All right. Let's tell you what, let me ramble for a second about something personal before we get to the rankings. Because there's nobody watching yet, and I don't want anybody to jump in the middle and be like, what's going on? So, very quickly, here we go. I'm going to try to make this fast because it's not going to work. I have a lot to talk about. All right, let's start here. This is my last Facebook Live broadcast I'm going to do this year, maybe for a while, because my voice really can't handle this. And after today, I have really nothing left to talk about, really. I'll do some album reviews like I do, but I've pretty much done everything I wanted to do, and I got to get my studio set back up in here so I can get to work. So, there's that. So real quickly, we're going to talk about 2016. I'm a music junkie, and I'm kind of weird about it, where I keep track of everything that I listen to, and when I listen to it, I have a musical diary in my computer, where like everything I've been listening to, I have folders of, like, I was listening to this in January of 2016. I go back years, like what was I listening to in March of 2009? I can go look it up, and I'm always absorbing new stuff. I have 708 records that I own that I have not yet listened to. So I'm always trying to put more through the filter and learn more, because somewhere here there's another 1,000, 2,000 songs that I'm actually going to adore, but I haven't gotten around to getting to them yet. So, all right, let's get going on the ranking. Before I do that, 2016 was a good year for me musically, personally, because I did my best record ever. Promise was this year, which has made a bunch of actually top of the year, not top, but top 10, top 20 lists of the year. So that was my record. And then I was a part of this, which was great too. Tango Down's best record, Bulletproof, came out this year. So those are both on Kibble Records, and I'm very happy with that for myself. So I contributed something in 2016. All right, here we go. I'm going to rank all the records I listened to in 2016. This is ridiculous. This will take a while, and I don't think anyone's going to actually be interested in this. But I'm going to put it on YouTube in the future so you can judge me. I did this very mathematically because I'm kind of a numbers nerd, and I looked at the records. I took how many songs there are on each album, and then how many songs I like, because like songs I pull out and I put into my favorites folder, and I just mathematically figured out if it's, for sake of round numbers, if there was 10 songs on the record and I like 3 of them, then it's 30%. If there's 12 songs on a record and I like 3 of them, it's 25%. And I put it through a calculator. So I found a way to mathematically rank all the records I listened to this year. And then I went back through them and opened them up to like how much they affected me. And some of this, that was just a blueprint. Then I moved things around, because some records had 2 or 3 songs on it only, but they were so good, So I have my system, and it may not be flawless, but here you go. All right, shut up. I got to talk about 82 albums, for Christ's sake. I'm gonna blow through a lot of these because I don't have time. So here we go. Number 82 was I love this guy, but it wasn't very good. All right, I can't do this. I can't talk about every record like this. 82 was Down to My Last Bad Habit by Vince Gill. I love Vince Gill. He's great. He's got a great voice, great singer, great writer. But this record had 12 songs on it. I didn't like any of them. I love Vince Gill. Didn't like one song on here. Just didn't. So the fact that the flat zeros, like I think the first 7 of these records, I didn't like one song. So there's flat in the bottom. This had 12 songs. Didn't like any of them. Sorry. But I bought it. So there you go. There's that. Number 81. I was going to say something else, but I can't think of it now. Oh, yes. I geek out hard about music and a lot of these other ones, but that's because those albums and songs had years, if not decades, to get inside me and really move me and build me. Everything I'm talking about today, at most, I've only known it for a year, because it was just this year, so I'm not going to get as excited about some of it, probably. Here we go. 81. Open Road by Gary Barlow. Don't like even one of these songs. He's the guy that was in Take That. Whatever I said, whatever I did, it didn't mean it. I actually have an album review of this on my YouTube channel. But there you go. 81, Gary Barlow. 10 songs, 11 songs, not one good song. Number 80 for me was Motherland, Peace for Me. Was incredibly disappointed in this. These are the guys from Bonham. Bonham's first record, Disregarded Timekeeping, which I think is one of the greatest records. I love that album. And then they got a new singer. Daniel McAllister is out. And then they got Marty Friedrichsen, right? Marty... Yes, and made this record. It's basically Bonham in the mid-90s, but it's not good. Didn't like a single song on here. flat goose egg, man. Didn't like any of this. And I was looking forward to this, but nope, not very good. 80. Number 79. This will upset some of you. I'm very sorry. I know a lot of you love this record. I tried, couldn't get into it. Kingdom Comes, self-titled record, just blew right through me. Didn't care. Didn't make anything of it. It was somebody trying to be Led Zeppelin and not doing a very good job. Sorry. I know some of you love this record. 79 for me. Kingdom Come, self-titled. Didn't like any of it. This, didn't care for any of these songs either. I appreciate the musicianship, but nope. Vinnie Moore's Mind's Eye just did not connect with me. Didn't like any of these songs. I'm sorry. I'm awful. Number 77. I respect her as a songwriter. She's written some of the best songs ever. She wrote one of my favorite songs called Your Next Lover, but didn't like this record. Bitter Town by Lori McKenna. I tried. I listened to it. I like the words. Don't like the music. Didn't care for one of these songs. Flat zero. Sorry. Number 76. Now we're getting into territory where I like one song. So I like one song on this record. Crystal Bernard, the blonde from Wings, she has a record. Actually has a great singing voice. Made a record in the mid-90s. It's straight mid-90s country kind of stuff, but for me it was very disposable and fluffy. Didn't get much out of it. There was one song I liked. I think it was State of Mind, but I'm not even sure about that. So 79, Crystal Bernard, Girl Next Door. 75, love and respect this guy, but this didn't do much for me. And this isn't really a full-on record. It's kind of an EP. There's only 6 songs on here, really. So Michael Bolton's Till the End of Forever is really just 6 studio songs and then a bunch of live stuff. But of those 6 studio songs, they really kind of just were disposable to me. So number 75 is the Michael Bolton Till the End of Forever. Number 74, Reliant K. I've had this record for years. I've heard good things about it. I listened to it. Didn't like it. Didn't like it. Too weird for me. Too quirky for me. Didn't like it really at all. There was one song on here, My Boyfriend's Girlfriend or something like that, or My Girl's Ex-Boyfriend, something like that. That was pretty good, but other than that, didn't like this. 74. 73. Can't believe I didn't like this record, but I didn't. Soul Alone by Daryl Hall. Did not care for this. I tried, but I didn't. The song I'm in a Philly Mood is awesome. Other than that, it really just did not do anything for me. And a lot of these records, maybe I didn't spend enough time with them. I don't know, but I didn't do much for me. Sorry. 73, Soul Alone by Daryl Hall. 72, some of my rock friends are going to be mad at me for this, but I can't help it. 72 was The Wildlife by Slaughter. I don't really, I'm sorry, I don't care for Mark Slaughter's voice. I don't like it. Some of these songs, it's almost comically high and whiny. I just don't get much out of it. I like the song The Wildlife. That's why it was a single, because that's the good song that's on here. I did not like this record. I'm sorry. Didn't do anything for me. I tried though. I want to love all this. I want every song to blow me away, but it doesn't. 72, Wildlife by Slaughter. 71, Shadows Fade, self-titled, Kevin Chopin from The Storm. This is a record he did for Frontiers in 2004, I think. Didn't really like it though. I'm really sorry to say that. Twisted Again is Sooner or Later pretty good. Other than that, this just really did not connect with me. Sorry. 70, Time Odyssey by Vinnie Moore. I did a Vinnie Moore thing this year. There was one song in here that I liked. Other than that, you know, I hate to say it this way, but I connect a lot more with Tony McAlpine stuff. Vinnie Moore, great musician, great production. I like it, but the songs did not stick with me. I'm sorry. Number 70, Time Odyssey, Vinnie Moore. 69, I hate to say this because this was a gift. And a lot of people love this band, but Fallen by Stryper did not do anything for me. I couldn't get around it. I liked Yahweh and I liked Fallen, and other than that, this record did not connect with me. How is it the Stryper's been around for 30 years and they just now got around to writing a song called Heaven? You would think that would have been on every record. It was 69, Fallen by Stryper. I'm sorry, it did not do anything for me. 68, Backstreet Boys self-titled. It's 68. There's a couple songs here I like. I like the pop stuff. I like stuff that's fluffy and fun and accessible. I like meaningful songs, but I like fun stuff too. But 68, Backstreet Boys, don't really care for that. 67, this was one of the biggest disappointments for me, and I hate to say that. I hope nobody in the band sees this. But the Honeymoon Suite record, the 7-song EP, which isn't even an EP, not even a record, it's just 7 songs. And I contributed to this. This was a Pledge Music, and I'm glad they're still being active and they're still being creative, but man, I did not. There's 7 songs on here. I liked one of them, and I tried so hard to like this. I listened to it 25, 30 times, and I just could not connect with it. And this might be a case of my hard drive's full, you know. This stuff doesn't get in me like it used to. But 67 is Hands Up by Honeymoon Suite. 66, I've heard about this record for years, and I was really looking forward to it, but again, it didn't do much for me. I know I feel like I'm crapping on everything, but we're at the bottom of the list, people, so most of this didn't connect with me. 66 was Valentine, self-titled. For every reason in the world, I should have liked this, but I didn't. I think if I would have found this record when it came out, when it was new, it would have connected with me more. But I think I've just heard a lot of songs like this in my life, and now it just takes more to impress me. Having said that, Running on Luck again, and We Run, those are pretty good. Naughty Girl, didn't like that. But there you go, 66, Valentine, self-titled. 65, the Eric Girls Band, Picture of a Thousand Faces. I've had this forever, and I love the song Paralyzed, and this is produced by Terry Thomas, so I thought it would be good, and I listened to this back in the day, and I remember it didn't really connect with me much, but I thought, I'll give it another shot this year, because I love their first record, I love Paralyzed, I must have missed something the first time through. Nope, don't like this record. Paralyzed is awesome, and then every other song on here, I just went and just bored, didn't like it, so number 65, Picture of a Thousand Faces, Eric Gales. 64, this will surprise some of you because I have it, and then others because I didn't like it. Deja Vu by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young did not connect with me at all. I know this is like an iconic record and groundbreaking, but I just came to it in 2016, so it didn't do anything for me, and this might offend some of you also. Neil Young, don't get it. Never understood Neil Young. Don't get it. I don't. There's a handful of artists that everybody loves that I just go, what? That's one of them. I love the harmonies, and I appreciate the harmonies in this, but didn't really like this record too much. So, nope, sorry, 64. 63, Midnight in the Lost and Found by Meatloaf. There's not much I can say here. I like the song Fallen Angel and Priscilla, and there you go. It's just a Meatloaf record without Jim Steinman, 63. How long have I been talking? Ooh, let's get going. 62, Ready or Not by Lou Gramm. I love Lou Gramm. I love his voice, and I'm glad he was being productive, but this record kind of fell flat for me also. Everybody loves the song Ready or Not. I like that. It's kind of, but not too much. But it didn't do much for me. I got an album review of this on my YouTube channel also, where I basically say, didn't move me, I'm sorry, but I love his voice. 61. I hate that I didn't love this record. I really wanted to love this record, but I couldn't. Steven Tyler's solo record, the country record, We're All Somebody from Somewhere. Didn't like this. There's a great song on here called I Make My Own Sunshine. That's a great, fun, upbeat song, and I love it. But overall, I did not. I tried so hard to like this record, but I couldn't like this record. So, and why do we need a copy of Janie's Got a Gun? Why do we need a cover of Janie's Got a Gun? Piece of My Heart. Why do we need another person to do Piece of My Heart? I don't know. Anyway, 61 was We're All Somebody Somewhere by Steven Tyler. All right, number 60. I have an album review of this on my YouTube channel also. World Stage by Jim Pedrick. Jim Pedrick was a songwriter for Survivor and a lot of other bands. It's like a 15-song thing. Got a lot of guest artists to sing on it. Like I said, I got a YouTube video about this, but I didn't really care for much of this. Diamonds for Stone was cool, but again, it didn't move me deeply. 60 was World Stage by Jim Pedrick. 59 is Hands All Over by Maroon 5. God damn, I hate how much Maroon 5 has disappointed me. Maroon 5's first record was awesome, and everything since then. But I got this because it was produced by Mutt Lange, and I thought maybe it would be good. I was wrong. There's a great song on here, though, called Just the Feeling. I do like that. Just the Feeling is good, and I Can't Lie is good. But overall, didn't really care for this. 58, I'm sorry, my rock friends, but Back Down the One by Jani Lane. Didn't care for this too much. Few good songs, but overall didn't care for it. Funny, 6 Feet Under, but man, it did not move me as much as I wanted to. And I love Jani Lane so much, but I just could not get into this as much as I wanted to. 58, Jani Lane, Read the Sign. Who am I? I'm nobody. 57, this will also upset the people that I just upset with that one. Home Run by Goddard. Pretty good, but not great for me. I like Everything Can Change. I like Eagle was a great song, but overall, I only pulled 3 songs out of this that I actually really dug to where I wanted to listen to them again. And by the way, Take It Easy on here is maybe one of the most repetitive songs ever. Take It Easy just goes on and on and on. 57, sorry, I know I'm terrible, right? 56, I thought this would be more fun before I started doing this. 56, Bone Against Steel by 38 Special. Couple good songs on here, but 38 Special without Jimmy Barnes Don Barnes doesn't do much for me. But there was a couple good songs in here. Sound of Your Voice, You're the Dam, You'd Be the Dam, I'll Be the Water. I like that one, but Southern Rock don't do much for me. But that's 56. 55 was Destination Anywhere by John Bon Jovi. I listened to this record when I first bought it. Didn't really like it very much. And then I thought earlier this year, you know, I'm going to give that John Bon Jovi record another shot. And I listened to it. Nah, Didn't like it. Actually, the best songs on here were the 2 bonus tracks on this disc, Cold Hard Heart and I Talk to Jesus. Those weren't even on this record, and those were better than almost everything on here. So this only got to be 55 because of these 2 songs. Otherwise, it'd be further down because I didn't like this record. I'm sorry. I know I'm a terrible person. 55, Destination Anywhere. 54, Unfinished Business by Loverboy. This is basically, I got an album review of this on my YouTube channel also. It's just a bunch of stuff that didn't make their studio records. They culled it together and put this out. War Bride is pretty cool, but not much I can say about that. 54. 53, here's going to upset some of my classic rock friends. I also have a review of this on my YouTube channel, I think. I think I do. 53 is 9 Lives by REO Speedwagon. Didn't connect with me. I love REO Speedwagon, but most of these songs sound like other songs of theirs, but not as good. You know, like there's some songs in here that sound like Say You Love Me or Say Goodnight, and I just, why do we need to do it? Why does anybody need to do a cover of Rock and Roll Music by Chuck Berry ever? The only reason this is so high on my list is because Back on the Road Again is on here, and that's a pretty cool song. 53, REO Speedwagon, 9 Lives. 52, also disappointing a lot of my AOR friends, and I was very disappointed in this record because I thought it'd be great. Also have a review of this on my YouTube channel. Read My Lips by Fee Waybill. It's okay, but it ain't great. And with David Foster and Steve Lukather and Fee Waybill all contributing to the songwriting, I thought this was going to be awesome. And everybody I've talked to does think it's awesome. But it did not do for me what I wanted it to do. So 52, Read My Lips by Fee Waybill. Sorry. 51, Both Sides by Phil Collins. Don't really like many of the songs on here, to be honest. But the ones I do like, I really like. Both Sides of the Story is a good song. Every Day is a pretty good song. And there's a song here called I've Forgotten Everything, which is heartbreaking and really good. So those 3 songs alone kind of catapulted it. But overall, this is a bloated, draggy record. I think I also have a review of this on my YouTube channel. I've been busy. 51, 50, Honkin' on Bobo by Aerosmith. It's a covers record. I don't normally like covers records. I got it because it was $1. Also have a review of this on my YouTube channel. But it didn't do much for me, but it's good to hear Aerosmith being Aerosmith because I always love them no matter what they're doing. But I want to hear original material. I don't want to hear a bunch of blues covers. So 50, Honkin' on Bobo. 49, Eddie Money's self-titled debut record. Also have a review of this on YouTube. This was okay, but not great. But Two Tickets to Paradise is on here, and Baby Hold On, isn't it? Yeah, Baby Hold On is on here. One of the great songs. Cover Smokey Robinson's You Really Got a Hold on Me. But moreover, it's kind of disposable for me. So 49, Eddie Money. 48, Gravity's Rainbow by Pat Benatar. Some good songs on here. I haven't done the review yet, but I probably will. But there's not much I can say about this unless you've heard it, other than it's Pat Benatar, and she's one of a kind. 48, Gravity's Rainbow. 47, Special Forces by 38 Special. The only thing that makes this again, Southern rock for me is hit and miss. But I love Don Barnes' voice and Jim Pederick's songwriting. Caught Up in You is on here, which is why it's as high as it is on here, because a lot of this didn't speak to me. You know, Chain Lightning, Roughhousing. You Keep Running Away is pretty cool, though. But 47, Special Forces by 38 Special. 47. 46, Bad Attitude by Meatloaf. I tried to catch him on Meatloaf this year, and I got through some of it. Also a review of this on my YouTube channel somewhere. Modern Girl's pretty good, and Piece of the Action I think was good, but there you go. 46, Meatloaf, without Jim Simon. 47, Never Say Never by Alias. This is Alias's follow-up. Alias is one of the greatest AOR bands that only put out one record, and then they put this out, which was like their second record they recorded but didn't release, and a bunch of demos. This is 45 for me. This would have been higher, but there's so many songs on here. There's 17 songs on here, and I only liked like 4 or 5, and that's not bad, but there's just so many songs on here that it got to be too much. 45, Never Say Never by Alias. 44, Living in Fiction by Fast Forward. Anybody know what this is? This is a random offshoot band that I think only had one record. A lot of the stuff was written by Bryan Adams and Jim Vallance. It's okay, but it's not the best thing ever, so it's 44, but I'm glad I got it. 43. This is going to really upset a lot of my melodic rock fans, and I'm sorry. I actually made a YouTube review of this record, but I couldn't put it up on my channel because I thought it would just piss off everybody. I don't hate this record, but I don't love it like everybody else does. Now I'll just move on from it. 43 for me was The Defiance. There's some great songs on here. Well recorded, well produced, well mixed, well performed, but a lot of just didn't connect with me as much as I wanted to. And now we'll move on. 43, The Defiance. 42, Power Windows by Rush. I liked Big Money and the Manhattan Project and Marathon. Cool stuff. 42. Mystic Ribbons. Power Windows by Rush. 41. Bavoom by the Brian Setzer Orchestra. Hit and miss, but Pennsylvania 65000. Jump it. What, you don't need me to tell you the song titles. None of you have heard this stuff. I'll just say 41 is Bavoom by Brian Setzer Orchestra. I like the Brian Setzer Orchestra. All right, we're halfway done. Here we go. Number 40. I have a review of this on my YouTube channel. Late Night by Neil Schon. Neil Schon is the guitarist for Journey, and this is his first solo record, I think, right? And again, I have a review on YouTube, so you can go watch that if you're interested at all. Don't know what to say, really. 40 is Late Night by Neil Schon. Other than it took me till 2016 to listen to this. That's kind of shameful, right? 38. Yes. Is Paul Gilbert's I Can Destroy. Some good stuff on here, but some stuff that's not great either. I love the song Everybody Use Your Goddamn Turn Signal. The Love We Had is cool. Decent stuff on here. I mean, I'm not crapping on it. It just didn't move me all the way through, but I'm very hard to impress anymore. 39, I Can Destroy by Paul Gilbert. 38, Little Queen by Heart. Pretty cool. I don't know why it took me this long to get around to listening to this, but the fact that it's got Barracuda on it moves it up. Treat Me Well is a weird song, but Cry to Me and Go On Cry is cool. Love Alive is cool. 38, Heart, Heart when they used to be Led Zeppelin, because they wanted to be Led Zeppelin. I think I have a review of this also on my YouTube channel now that I think about it. I think I do. 39 is Reach by Survivor. Survivor is one of my favorite bands ever. I do talk about them in a different Facebook Live thing I did covering Survivor as a whole. My favorite song on here was actually not sung by Jimmy Jameson. My favorite song on here was Talking About Love. I could not stop listening to Talk About Love. That must have played around here for a month straight, that song. But 37, Reach by Survivor. Which, by the way, the album cover looks a lot like one of mine. It's pretty standard. 36 is Night Calls by Joe Cocker. Overall, I'm not a fan of covers record. I think I have a review of this also on my YouTube channel. Feels Like Forever is cool. Bryan Adams, Diane Warren wrote that. It's hit and miss, because a lot of this we don't need. We don't need Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me Again. We don't need another copy of Beatles songs, but there's some good stuff on here. Five Women's a cool song. And Now That the Magic's Gone is a cool song. So 36, Night Calls by Joe Cocker. 35, 2 by REO Speedwagon. I know as a classic rock fan I'm supposed to love this record. I don't hate it. It's pretty good. But half of it's good, half of it is not. The way a lot of albums were in the 70s. But Golden Country's on here. And Like You Do's on here. And Music Man's on here. So there you go. 35 is 2 by REO Speedwagon. 34, Lost in America by Edwin McCain. I've said it before, Edwin McCain is the real deal. Edwin McCain is awesome. If you ever get a chance to see Edwin McCain live, go do it. He's the real deal. He's made like 7, 8, 9 records. He's a real singer-songwriter with a great voice and a unique spin on things. Good stuff on here. That's all I'm going to say, really. 34 is Edwin McCain, Lost in America. 33, Constrictor by Alice Cooper. Great stuff on here, but also some filler stuff, I think. I love Teenage Frankenstein. I think I have a review of this also. I'm not sure. Teenage Frankenstein is good. The World Needs Guts. I love that. The Great American Success Story is a great song. And then He's Back, Man Behind the Mask. I like all those. 33 is Constrictor. And now we're at the point now where these albums are good albums. Like half of these records are good. And really, I mean, if half the record is good, that's worth the price. Because it is very, very hard to make a consistently great record. It's very, very hard to do that. It's rare. So there you go. 32. Yes. I'm going to say it. 32. Fearless by Taylor Swift. I know you guys don't like me, but this is the truth. Like I said earlier, I like pop stuff. I like fluffy stuff. If it's done well and it's fun, I don't care. There's 13 songs on here. I liked 6 of them. So there you go. So 6 of these songs were pretty good. I'm a harsh critic, by the way. If 32, I didn't even like half the record. 32, Fearless by Taylor Swift. 31, I have a review of this on my YouTube channel. Also, Go West Young Man by Michael W. Smith. Great, phenomenal talent. Michael W. Smith's been at it forever, and he's phenomenally talented. This record is kind of dated, but it's got the song Place in This World on it. So that alone elevates this in the ranking. Place in This World. Great song. To be honest, I can't remember a lot of this other stuff. But I have my system. 31, Go West Young Man by Michael W. Smith. 30 is Little Voice by Sarah Bareilles. 12 songs on here. I like 6 of them. One of the a great song on here is Vegas. That's a great song. And then Fairy Tale, that was pretty cool. But there you go. I don't have much to say about it. Love songs on here. This is now, God, 9 years old. There you go. Number 30 is Little Voice by Sarah Bareilles. 29, this one was tough because I didn't really listen to the whole record this year because everybody knows songs off of this just by being alive. So when it's Can't Slow Down by Lionel Richie, I already know Stuck on You and Penny Lover and All Night Long and Hello. You know, there's only 8 songs on here, which is kind of lame. So I really only listened to 3 of these songs because I already knew the rest. But I tried as a whole to look at it as a whole record, and you gotta respect Lionel Richie. So 29 for me is Can't Slow Down by Lionel Richie. 28, this is also hard to categorize because it's an EP. It's not a record. It's only 5 songs. But Velocity's Activator. Velocity's first record, by the way, is it self-titled? Love that record. This only has 5 songs, so I didn't know how to incorporate it here. So I just did the math and figured I like 3 of the 5 songs, so it gets like a 60%. So there you go. Beautiful and Useless, cool song. Stranger's also a cool song. I probably shouldn't have bought this in hindsight because, I mean, it's only 5 songs and I paid for it. Impact. Thank you, Tony. I didn't think I had that right. That's a great record, Impact. And this is cool, too. It's worth having, but there you go, 28. I wish there was more than 5 songs. 27, this will upset a few of you, but it also hopefully shows a little bit of my diversity. 27 was The Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle by Bruce Springsteen. I also have a review of this on my YouTube channel. I don't have the correct cover because I got this on eBay, and I have the David Victor Stoller record. I haven't listened to it yet, Kenneth, but it's up there somewhere. I got this on eBay, and they cut out the cover, so my version doesn't have a cover. But there you go. 27 is The Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. Some very interesting stuff on here. You can check out my YouTube review if you want, because I don't know what I'm going to say that you need to really hear other than this was number 27 for me this year. 26 was the great Ted Poley's Beyond the Fade. I enjoyed this record a lot. Fluffy, great keyboard stuff, and I love Ted Poley's voice. Some great songs on here. I actually need to go back and revisit this because I haven't listened to it since I put it in my head about 6 months ago. But 26 is Beyond the Fade by Ted Poley. Good record. Number 25 for me was Saints and Sinners by Whitesnake. I love Whitesnake, but Whitesnake does tend to make the same kind of songs over and over. A lot of them are an A, a lot of them are about doing it or partying, you know, or rock and roll. But there's nothing wrong with that. Whitesnake is great with what they do. I like the song Dancing Girls, Saints and Sinners. Here I Go Again, the original version is on here. Crying in the Rain, the original version is on here. Victim of Love is a cool song. So yeah, 25 for me was Saints and Sinners by Whitesnake. Number 24 for me was Crazy World by Scorpions. I got back into this record this year because me and my brother went and saw the Scorpions. I actually flew to Missouri so him and I could drive to Chicago to catch the Scorpions on their tour, which was great. It was a great memory. On the way back, we called the radio station because we were driving back in the middle of the night from Chicago to St. Louis, and I said, play some Scorpions, but don't play something you normally play. Don't play like the typical Scorpion stuff. And he played Don't Believe Her, which I forgot all about. So I dug this record back out, and I listened to a lot more Scorpions this year. This being said, I mean, I have a review of this on my YouTube channel also somewhere. It's not the greatest record, but it's pretty good. But Wind to Change is on here, which is one of the greatest songs ever. Wind to Change, by the way, I think it's like the 11th greatest selling single of all time in recorded music. Wind to Change by the Scorpions, like 11th or 13th or something like that. Look that up. But it was one of the best selling songs ever. Let's just move on. 24, Crazy World by the Scorpions. 23 was Hey Stupid by Alice Cooper. This record was good, but only half of it was good. Like the first half, I liked Hey Stupid, and then I kind of lost interest, but then Might As Well Be on Mars is killer. I also have a review of this on my YouTube channel. I love Die For You, Dirty Dreams, Wind Up Toy's cool, so this was overall a good record. I know that Alice Cooper, I'm supposed to love the 70s stuff and the classic stuff, but just by when I was born and what I'm drawn to, I love the more polished, big chorus kind of stuff on Alice Cooper. So this is my 23. There you go. 22 was The Tubes, The Completion Backwards Principle. I have a review of this on my YouTube channel. I'll just tell you right now, I can just do this in one swoop. 22 is this one, 21 is this one. The Tubes really ranks for me in the same place. I went and saw them live this year. because I'm trying to catch everybody before I still can. And so I redigested these, and my thoughts are on my YouTube channel. I have reviews of both these on there. But there's some really, really good stuff on both these records. So 22 and 21 for me was the Tubes. All right, we are down to the top 20, and now's where I'm going to start really loving this. I've been talking for a half hour, Jesus. All right. Give me a second, I'm sorry. I've been talking a lot. Whew. Okay. Here's my top 20 for this year. I have album review. I know I keep saying I have album reviews in these on YouTube, but I did them, so what the hell, in case you're interested. I have a review of this one. Here we go. Number 20 for me was Changed by Rascal Flatts. Once again, I like pop. I like polished production. Dan Huff is producing a lot of this, or all of it. This is a very good record. I enjoyed this. I like the tasty, tight produced stuff. So 20 for me was Changed by Rascal Flatts. And again, my YouTube has a review of it where I go on and on and on. But there's some really good, solid pop radio songs in here that I enjoyed. So there you go. Number 19 for me, even though I was disappointed in this record, it's still 19 because it's still Sting. I'm a huge Sting fan. I love Sting. I write songs. And Sting is one of the greatest songwriters of the past 30, 40 years because, God, is it that long now? 30 years. No, 40. Oh, my God. Just because he's very unique and very... Sting writes, and it sounds like Sting, and he writes songs about different things. So I got to respect that. So although in the Sting catalog, this is kind of low on my list of everything I listened to this year, it's still Sting. So there you go. 19 for me was Sting's new record, 57th and 9th. Number 18 for me, and I really enjoyed this, was Cook's Tour by Sam Cooke. Some really great stuff on here. God, that guy can sing. Of course, everybody knows that. This is a really good album because it's called Cook's Tour, and they cherry-pick songs from around the world. So the first song is called Far, Far Away Places, and then it's Under Paris Skies, and then it's South of the Border, Mexico way, then it's Bali High, and then it's They Got Coffee in Brazil, and then it's Arrivederci Rome. So it's songs about other countries and cities, and then the last song is called The House I Live In. So it's like a little journey, and some of these songs are really nice, like really nice. So I really dug that. 18 for me was Cook's Tour by Sam Cooke. I have weird taste, don't I? Number 17, yeah, I guess so. Because number 17 for me was Looking Through You by the Yeah Yous. Anybody even know what this is? I have a YouTube review of this also. Everything I could say about that, I said on that YouTube review because honestly, it's been about 10 months since I've listened to this and I don't remember much other than I really liked it. Again, like I said earlier, these albums have not had years to get inside me and really take root, you know. But I remember that I really enjoyed this. Actually, I liked, where is it? Yeah, there's 11 songs on here, and apparently I liked 8 of them. So this is a pretty solid record. So there you go. 17 is the Yeah Yous. 16 was Next by Seventh Heaven. Seventh Heaven is incredibly prolific, and they have the ability to write really good upbeat songs. But they do have the, but as a consequence of being prolific and writing that kind of thing, they do kind of get cookie cutter. But given the loss of, Keith Semple, I'm glad that they made this record with the other singer. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, Adam Heisler. Good stuff on here. Time of Our Lives is a great song. Young and Bulletproof. She Could Use a Little Sunshine. Take Me With You. This was a very good record. If you're like me and you like the more happy, upbeat, polished stuff, and if you liked Seventh Heaven records earlier, this was actually pretty good. So for me, 16 is Next by Seventh Heaven. 15, yeah, here we go. 15 for me is No Fixed Address by Nickelback. I've talked about it before. I don't understand the Nickelback hate. I don't get it. I've never gotten it. I won't jump on the Nickelback hate bandwagon. Once again, they're a rock band making a living in 2016, and their songs all honor and are worked around harmony and hooks and big drums and big guitars, and why all my rock friends are against Nickelback blows my mind. Why anybody loves Def Leppard and thinks Nickelback is total shit blows my mind. I don't get it. So I like this, and the only reason it's not higher on the list, to be honest, is because there's actually a song that says featuring Flo Rida. Oh God. Ugh. But there's some good stuff on here, and I don't know what to tell you. I don't understand the Nickelback hate. I never will. But of course, I'm a guy who ranks Nickelback 15 and Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young like 40. So what do I know? But there's some good. If you like Nickelback, again, this is another band that just keeps doing what they do. But I like it. I look forward to new Nickelback records. So, what do I know? 15 for me. There you go. 14 for me. I really love this record. Unbreakable by the Scorpions, which kind of just went under the radar because there's no hits on here. It's just diehard fans like myself who keep buying their records. But there was some really good stuff under New Generation. I don't know what to tell you. I got to do a review on this on YouTube because it would give me more time to talk about it. But Unbreakable by the Scorpions. If you ever liked the Scorpions and you stopped getting their stuff, this is one of the more solid things they've done. I actually like the Scorpions later in their career. Is that terrible? Because I love this. I love Humanity. I love Face the Heat. I love what's the last one they just did? Return to Forever. Love that. This is good. Unbreakable by the Scorpions, number 14. Number 13 for me was Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman & Howe's self-titled record. I've had this forever, and I finally got around to listening to it, and I love it. I really enjoy this. The Order of the Universe is... I love anything that's musically interesting and a little bit different, and John Anderson sings great, and there's some great hooks in here, and it's not just simple songs. There's some simple songs, and it's not just songs about love or partying. It's like about things. And I really, really dug this record. And I got to do a proper review of it. But yeah, I've had this album for probably 15 years. And just this year, I finally got around to listening to it. And really loved it. I hated to stop listening to it. Like, I had it in my head so much, and I went, okay, I've absorbed this. I've gotten as much out of this as I can. But I don't want to stop. Like, I really like this one. So, Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman & Howe, self-titled record, number 13. Good album. Number 12. Here's a record maybe none of you will know. Thump by Michael Morales. Again, I've had this forever. I've heard about this forever. Finally got around to listen to it. This guy is like a self-contained unit. He writes all the songs and plays everything on these records, pretty much. And he sounds very Def Leppard-ish. To me, he is like Def Leppard and Rick Springfield hybrid. You can definitely hear the influences of both of those in here. So it took me a little bit. It was a grower, but I did really, really liking this record. So Thump by Michael Morales, number 12 for me this year. And then we jump to a completely different category. I have a YouTube review of this. Actually, my longest and most in-depth YouTube review is of this record. Number 11, Storyteller by Carrie Underwood. I've mentioned again how I like pop songs. I like well-produced stuff. I like accessible stuff. And I have like a 12-minute review of that on my YouTube channel. And I'll just say that it's well mixed, well written. I mean, these records have the world's greatest songwriters, the world's greatest producers, musicians making these records now. The country stuff that's current has some of the best. And Church Bells is so good. Heartbeat, Chaser's great. Relapse, Clock Don't Stop. This is a good record. This is a good, solid record. I like it. And that's all that matters. And she can sing. So, 11, Storyteller by Carrie Underwood. Now we get to my top 10 of the year. Number 10 for me. Another record I've heard about my entire life, but just got around to listening to this year. Contagious by Y&T. Great stuff. Great stuff. This is one of those bands that was basically just like, forgive me if I'm wrong, because I don't know as much about it as some of you do, but like it was the 80s band. It was Bon Jovi, Winger, Warrant. It fell right into one of those. But they probably should have been bigger than they were, because I finally got around to listening to this, and it's very solid. I don't count I'll Cry For You as an instrument. I don't really count that. The only songs I didn't like is Fight For Your Life. I didn't like that. Sorry. And I couldn't get my head around Rhythm or Not. You know, Sex on the Brain. I just was, oh, bleh. But the other songs are awesome. This record I listened to over and over and over and over. Very, very good. Great chord changes and Contagious for a rock song. There's good stuff on here. So, again, it took me years to get around to listening to this, but I'm glad I did. So if anybody loves the Bon Jovi stuff, Danger, this would be something you might want to check out. It's very, very good. Number 10, Contagious by Y&T. Number 9 for me was Guitar Slinger by Brian Setzer Group. I dig this. Another record, I didn't want to stop listening to it. I really enjoyed it. I have a review of this on my YouTube channel also. I understand this kind of stuff isn't for everybody, but it's just fun. It's upbeat, and I love the production of it. I just love how bouncy and fun it is. And this was a great record. This is very solid. I've been through like 4 or 5 Brian Setzer records now. He's got more. I got them all. But this so far is my favorite. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Number 9 for me was Guitar Slinger by Brian Setzer. Number 8, Now here's an album I should have listened to 25 years ago, and I have to do a proper review of this, but I haven't yet. But I know everybody that's into the hard rock stuff, the melodic rock stuff like I am, this is like one of the Holy Grail records that I just missed for whatever reason. But Don't Come Easy by Tyketto, I finally got around to listening to this year, and only because it was a gift. Somebody gave this to me, which was very kind of them. This is the original. I know that there's been the Rock Candy just remastered it, but this is the original. And I've heard about this my whole life, and it was good. It was good. A lot of things I hear about, and they disappoint me, but I listened to it, and I made myself open my brain, and I listened to it over and over and over again, and it's great. It's great. And it makes me feel young because it was recorded in that time, and the production feels like the time when I was in high school, you know, just the way it's done. Richie Zito produced this, which I love Richie Zito's production. I actually have to find out where I can get a list of everything Richie Zito's done because I love his production. It's very clean and clear and crisp, and I love his production. There's only 2 songs I didn't like, and that's probably because they were about sex. And I have a very hard time really enjoying songs about doing it. I don't know why, I just do. Lay Your Body Down, didn't like that song. And Strip Me Down, didn't like that. I didn't like that. Strip Me Down also is a bluesy kind of song. I generally don't get much out of just straight bluesy songs like with the harmonica. Didn't like that. And Lay Your Body Down. Interesting thing about Lay Your Body Down that occurred to me is that the chorus doesn't fit the song at all. The chorus, you know, stand up, then let me lay your body. And then the rest of the song is different. And then I feel like when the chorus comes around, I'm expecting a different chorus. And I just kind of go, whoa, that doesn't really fit for me. It's like they had a chorus, they had a song, they went, we'll just make these work. I just kind of get a little whiplash during that song. But I'm not crapping on it because I love this record. It's number 8 for me. That's big for me. So Tyketto, Don't Come Easy. Don't wait till 20 years to listen to it like I did. Great stuff. Is any of the other stuff as good as this? I've heard it's not. There you go. Number 7 for me. Again, this is the songwriter part of me. Sail Away by Randy Newman. I know Randy Newman is kind of a joke, but he is incredibly talented. If you look up the amount of stuff he's done, in addition to like his dozen solo records and stuff he co-wrote for other people, he's done like how many, like 1 million soundtracks. Very, very few people in the history of recorded music have been as prolific and creative as Randy Newman. And this is fine. I went and saw him last year, and since I saw him, I was motivated to get some of his stuff. And so this is the first Randy Newman album I listened to, and I was very happy because I'm kind of misanthropic, and the songs are not just about normal things, they're just about different kind of things. It's very quirky, and I love it. God's song, That's Why I Love Mankind. Oh man, do I love that song. I love that song. Political Science, Burn On, Memory of My Son. There's some really good stuff. It's just different. And at this point in my education, when I've heard a lot of this stuff so many times, I crave something different. And so I'm very excited to check out the rest of Randy Newman's output because this is the only one I've listened to, but I did love it. Also, I'm a piano player, songwriter, so a lot of it appeals to me for that reason. But cool stuff on here. I really enjoyed this. I was very surprised, and I love this. So number 7, Sail On by Sail Away by Randy Newman. Good stuff. And now we jump to the complete other end of the spectrum. Number 6 for me, Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden. So I have come to Iron Maiden late in my life. And you would think I would know a lot about Iron Maiden, but I do not. In fact, the very first Iron Maiden record I ever listened to was just last year, because I just didn't ever get around to it. And the little bit I'd heard didn't move me a lot, but I didn't hate it. It was one of those back burner things, like I'll get to it someday. But I'll tell you what, I probably really missed the boat, because I really, really enjoyed this. I love every song except for the last one. To Tame the Land kind of runs on and on and on. But other than that, this is awesome. I grew up loving Halloween. Halloween Keeper, 7 Keys Part 1 and 2. I got those when I was 15 and 16. And didn't really realize at the time how much they were standing on the shoulders of Iron Maiden and other bands like it. I actually prefer the Halloween stuff just because it's bigger in the production, the vocals and stuff. But I really enjoyed this. I'm going to have to get the rest of the Iron Maiden stuff now, because with the 4 albums of theirs I've listened to the past 2 years, I like them all. I like them all quite a bit. And it makes me feel younger. I don't know why. It makes me feel like, because this was popular when I was a kid. So, Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden, I finally got around listening to in 2016. Sorry, but I love it. Number 6. Number 5 for me is Boxes by the Goo Goo Dolls. This just came out this year. And again, radio-friendly stuff, very polished production. It's pop, but I really enjoyed this record very much. I didn't want to stop listening to it. You take out the Robbie, the bass player songs, which I didn't care for, and it's solid all the way through. Just great. I mean, a complete polar opposite from this, and this, I guess, while we're talking about it. But I try to like everything. Great. Boxes by Goo Goo Dolls was my number 5 on the albums I listened to all this year. Loved it. Really did love that. Number 4 from me, I have a review of this on my YouTube channel also. Joey Tempest's A Place to Call Home. Joey Tempest is the lead singer for Europe, and he's written a zillion friggin' songs. I have, like I said, a review of this on YouTube, so I won't talk too much about it. But this was his bid in the 90s, I guess, to be a singer-songwriter, because Europe, I'm sure at that point, was a joke, a punchline. So he branched off and made a solo record that fits right in with the 90s stuff. It does. It's not Europe at all, but it's still great. And of course, he's European, so even though he's like 35 here, he still looks 25. So this was I love this. Again, as a singer-songwriter and an admirer of Joey Tempest, I'm kind of bummed it took me this long to get around listening to this record. But I gush about this on my YouTube channel review. But very, very good. If you like Joey Tempest and you can deal with the fact that it's not a big rock record, that it's just a singer-songwriter record, it's him trying to be Springsteen. I always felt that this was him trying to be Bruce Springsteen. What's wrong with that? So number 4 for me was A Place to Call Home by Joey Tempest. Oh my God. Number 3, Ghost of Graceland by Treat. I love this album. I got to do a review on it. I haven't done it yet, but I mean, if you know who Treat is, you know this was great. It's not quite up to Coup de Grace, but Coup de Grace is one of my favorite records maybe ever. So they're not going to get that good, but it came really close. There was only 2 songs I didn't like. Other than that, I liked every other thing on here. I love Nonstop Madness, Everything to Everyone. Alien Earthlings is cool. It's great. So listen, if you don't know who this is, and you're a fan of the big hard rock stuff with the big choruses, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, maybe take a look at this, because I loved it. I love it. I was very big. Actually, I'm probably gonna listen to this when I'm done with this, because I haven't listened to it since it came out, because I try to keep doing more music, and so stuff doesn't get in as deep. But yes, Ghost of Graceland by Treat was friggin' great, man. So there you go. Number 3 for me this year. Number 2 for me. Ooh. Oh no, is that broken? Oh, I gotta replace this case. I have a review of this on my YouTube channel as well. Number 2 for me was Seventh Son of a Seventh Son by Iron Maiden. Turns out I'm quite an Iron Maiden fan. So I gotta get more of this. I've listened to this and Peace of Mind, and I've been through Somewhere in Time, and I've done what's the other one with the Sphinx? I can't think of it. Whatever. Here you go. So I have a YouTube review of this, and I love it. Love it. Took a while for it to get inside me, but again, it reminds me of being a kid. I like every song except The Clairvoyant. Don't care for that, but cool, man. There's nothing I can say about Iron Maiden you don't already know. So, yeah, love it. Iron Maiden, Power Slave. Thank you, Paul. I couldn't think of it. Yeah, number 2, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Great. All right, here's my number 1. If any of you have been paying attention to any of this, you'll know what it is. I love this record from the time I got it, and I still absolutely adore this record. I have, again, a YouTube review of it where I talk for 10 minutes about how much I love it. So I don't need to do it again here, but I'm just going to show it to you. One of my favorite singer-songwriters of all time, who's incredibly underrated, Mr. Rick Springfield, Rocket Science. This album kills me. It's so good. 14 songs. Every one of them is good. Number 1, no contest. Sorry. But that was it. I know, it's 2016, I'm talking about Rick Springfield. What the hell do I know? But there it is. Number 1. Love it. And that seems anticlimactic now that I've talked for an hour about music, right? But there you go. I will type all these up at some point and maybe put them on here so you don't have to watch this. And again, who am I? There's just my opinions. When you've got Randy Newman and Iron Maiden and Joey Tempest and the Goo Goo Dolls and Brian Setzer in your top 10, you're not right. I'm not right. But there you go. That's my countdown of all my records I listened to this year. And then I'm gonna do it again next year. I'm always trying to listen to music because there's a lot out there, and I love it. You know, that's what I have. That's my thing. This will probably be my last one of these until I think of another reason to do it. But I've done everything. I've covered every record I have. I covered my own stuff, and I got to get to work on what's next, which is getting the studio set up in here and working on stuff of my own again. So, you guys, thank you for watching. I got a boatload of stuff on my YouTube channel, and I'll keep doing album reviews because I like doing that for myself more than anything, really. Because I actually do go back in a very egotistical way and go, what did I think about that record now that it's been a year and a half? So, all right, that was a lot of talking. If anybody disagrees with me, I completely understand. But that's how I feel, and I take this way too seriously. Everybody, thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Everybody be safe. And if anybody wants to chit-chat or wants anything, let me know. By the way, I'm going to do the pitch one more time for my record. Very, very proud of it. It's doing really well, and it's gotten a lot of good reviews here at the end of the year. I'm very proud of that. I think it was good. And if you want, you can go to my website. That's my website, jacemusic.com. And if you put in this code, you get 20% off of anything you buy right now, right? On the coupon code. You got I gotta advertise a little bit. It's just me. All right. I think that's all. Thank you, everybody, very much. And everybody be safe, all right?